In 1984, Ivan Reitman's Ghostbusters chased their ghosts on the big screen. The American $30 million production made alone in the US 8 times its budget back and was in general a massive worldwide success with audiences and critics. After losing their jobs at the university, a parapsychology professor trio establishes a paranormal investigation and elimination service known as Ghostbusters. By rapid increase of paranormal activities, the demand of their services grows, and soon they are facing Gozer the Destroyer. If they can't stop him, it could mean the end of the world. Dan Aykroyd's first draft of the script played in the future, and the Ghostbusters should be originally played by Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy and John Belushi, who died unexpectedly in 1982. See also the John Belushi retrospective. Harold Ramis, who rewrote with Dan Aykroyd the script, also wanted to play in the movie, and Bill Murray replaced Belushi. The actor one in Ghostbusters is an ambulance based on a 1959 Cadillac Millimeter, of which back then only 200 were built, and they had only one converted vehicle. The soundtrack contains the famous theme song by Ray Parker Jr., for which my video was constantly blocked, as well as some other hits from the 80s and 2 pieces from the score by Elmer Bernstein, who composed music for the entire movie. Unfortunately, this fell victim to the unspeakable trend in the 80s, in which brilliant and well-balanced film music was replaced with by-the-numbers pop junk, so no difference to today. The original score with 39 tracks appeared only in 2006 in a limited edition of 3,000 pieces and was of course immediately sold out. When we heard the first time of Ghostbusters, I and my 1 year younger brother couldn't get fast enough to the theater. But what really surprised me was the fact that even my big sister wanted to join us. Until then, she didn't seem to be interested in science fiction or fantasy movies. After the presentation, she had only one thing to complain about. She would have preferred it if the Ghostbusters would have been women and the secretary a man, which would have helped the story a lot. Of course, that was just a joke and bare wishful thinking from producers which harder avoid reality than the ghost's sunlight. In fact, it became fast one of our favorite movies ever, and we rewatched it many times as soon as it hits VHS. Ghostbusters is the real deal. The story is exciting, the villain's scary, it's very well cast, and the fantastic effects are used wisely. Ramis, Aykroyd and Murray act so believable that you get the feeling you are watching some friends in real life. For me personally, the strength of Ghostbusters lies primarily in its eerie atmosphere. I got it never as a comedy rather than a horror movie with fun elements. Similar to RoboCop, Terminator or Evil Dead, it is not made for children, even if these franchises are so popular with younger audiences. But by trying to make them in the sequels or remakes youth-friendly and turning horror movies into pure comedies, they are neither funny or scary anymore and get in principle destroyed. The Ghostbusters is a 1975 US TV series with 15 half-hour episodes. It has no relation to the famous 1984 movie, although Columbia Pictures secured the naming rights from Filmation at the time. The plot revolves around the two bumbling detectives Jack Kong and Eddie Spencer and a gorilla named Tracy, who investigate ghost and monster appearances. Each episode begins with them going to a convenience store to get new orders in form of self-destructing tape recordings with mission descriptions, in reference to the mid-60s Mission Impossible series. Their investigations always take them to the same old haunted castle outside of the town, where they neutralize the ghosts with their dematerializers. Due to the success of the Ghostbusters movie, Filmation threw in 1986 an animated spin-off of the old Ghostbusters series on the market, which had 65 25-minute episodes and was also named Ghostbusters, later Filmation Ghostbusters. The protagonists are supposed to be the sons of the old series leads, who now also work with the gorilla Tracy. The headquarters mansion of Ghostbusters, the Ghost Command, is located in the urban canyons of a modern metropole. This crap came before the real Ghostbusters series to our video store, and I've actually watched an episode because I thought it might have something to do with the movie. Since back then there was no internet and hardly any background information about serious movies and so on available, it was much easier to fraud customers with garbage like this. But to be fair, I don't want to hide the fact that Filmation was apparently also granted 1% of the profits through the sale of the naming rights, of which there were supposedly none thanks to Hollywood accounting. In addition, Filmation was simply ignored by Columbia Pictures when it came to making this series, which then led them to kind of take revenge making their own one. The Real Ghostbusters is a 1986 US animated series based on the feature film, with 134 regular 25-minute episodes in 7 seasons, plus 13 Slimer ones. As known from the movie, the 4 Ghostbusters have to deal with paranormal cases, receiving various orders and dealing with all sorts of supernatural phenomena. I was after the last series tired of the apeshit rip-off and was not ready to spend a second time money on this, not to be scammed again. So I watched them sporadically, as some episodes had also a VHS release. The concerns got not really better, as it seems to be Slimer was playing the lead role. From the 4th season, episode 92, the title was renamed in Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters. Of course, since in the regular episodes, Slimer obviously didn't crawl enough on the nerves of the viewers over the age of 5. Slimer now occurs more during the action and even speaks, just like Mr. Ed. On this brilliant idea, clearly the result of brain softening to transform the series permanently into baby crap, every comment is unnecessary.